Hey, it's Cecil, and it's Tuesday, and welcome to the first build of the festive season. I was, going through doing my monthly planning, and I was like, you know what I really want to build is an ice rink. And that is what we did. Now, we started building it in one place, but the lot ended up being really small, and it would have been a very, very short build, which is fine, but not what I was going for. So we ended up switching to a different lot and doing a completely different build. It was super fun. Let's get into it. So as we get into the uh as we get into the build, I started out, like I said, on a completely different lot, and I will keep this part in. I think I'm gonna keep this part in, and then we will just show the lot that it ended up getting moved to. My chat really wanted us to try to build it in Strangerville, and I wanted that for them because I think that building an ice rink in a desert world is a great idea. But unfortunately, it was just a really small lot, and there wasn't I don't know. It didn't feel like what I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? So I couldn't do it. It was way too small, and I wanted there to be more going on than just the ice rink. I was also thinking like I could have done an indoor ice rink and then maybe had more like decorating to do, but this is what we ended up going with. For outdoors. We ended up moving to the Myshuno Meadows lot, the Central Park in San Myshuno, which is a great lot, and it was a little bit sad to bulldoze it. And it's definitely a lot less functional than it was back when it was the original version of the lot. But that's okay because it's a lot of fun, and who knows, maybe I'll at some point renovate it. I feel like I like the build, but I also can feel that I was very tired and a little bit in a rush when I do it. But here's us switching over. And also, I spent so much time putting like specific walking paths down. And then I realized, why did I do that? Because when you go here, it's going to be covered in snow. And I was just like, oh no. So I spent a lot of time on those walking paths, and it did help me at least with like where I wanted to put lights and where I wanted to just like put things. And where I wanted to put trees and these like winter food stands and all of that. But I feel like maybe I spent too much time on it given everything. I think that if I was doing this lot with a little bit less of restrictions on myself. So I kept it mostly seasons and base game, but oh yeah, and the free holiday stuff. I did include a little bit of city living and like one item from Snowy Escape, but they're not like make or break the game, I don't think. But I went back around and I put the I put this like bush border fence around because that's what the park had like to begin with. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, that slightly, because this is a 64 by 64 lot, it slightly shrinks it when you do that. So I was like, yeah, that gives us a little bit more clear stuff to work with. But when I did this and I left the openings for what's in like the outer border fence, I realized that for some reason there was a 2-bit walkway in the front. On the side, there's a 3-bit walkway, and on the other side, there's a 4-space walkway. Why would they do that? Why are they all different? Like, maybe the front one being different, I can understand. But the two in the back the two that are like across from each other being different, what? I get it. This pack came out in like 2015. It's been a long time, and they hire actual simmers to do their builds for them now, and that's great. But the level of stress I am under looking at that, I'm like, why? Why would they do that? Why did they do that? Um, it's fine. It's fine. That was their choice. That was their decision that they made, and it's valid, but I don't love it. I don't love it. But this is the first full week of December, which is pretty exciting. That means that Streammas is starting over on my Twitch channel. Technically, it started last week. Uh, on the 2nd of the month. I wasn't able to stream on Friday because I was having a bad day. But just, it's exciting. We have been opening up a brand new advent calendar, which I can show you guys. It's this like animal advent calendar, which is super cute. And I like it a lot. So that is what we are using. And it's basically just like these teeny tiny stuffed animals. They're very soft, like this kind of blanket soft, which is the ideal texture for my particular brand of autism. So big fan. Love them. They're adorable. The two that I have are currently downstairs because I wanted to put them somewhere that I thought the cats might not might not be able to grab them because, my cats have also their tiny toys that are about that size. So I'm like, yeah, they're gonna perceive this as a toy. But yeah, I love them. They're so cute. They're so tiny. And it's very exciting to open up an advent calendar every day. Like, it's silly goofy. Last year, we did an advent calendar full of rocks. This is some red granite here. And, it was so much fun. And at the end of the season of streams, we did a sort of like, we did a ranking of the rocks based on how likely me and the chat were to eat them. So that was good fun, and it's exciting. This is the second video of Christmas that we are doing across my YouTube channels, and the first one I can put in the card up here. It was a cover of the song Snow on the Beach, which I enjoyed. I wanted to do piano for it, but my fingers have been, and my wrist, oh my gosh, I dislocated my wrist twice. So it's been not quite doable, but that is okay. Just a cappella is how I do most of my covers anyways. It's totally fine. We can maybe incorporate music more in the new year. I think that can be a goal. But what I'm doing right now is I'm making a little like pavilion because a lot of the parks that I've been to in my lifetime have had some sort of pavilion, and I also thought it would be nice to just like have a space that was like maybe a little bit heated and just had some seating areas. If I were to redo this space without pack limitations, I would probably, instead of doing the like outdoor unattached to a wall fireplace from Snowy Escape. That's why I use Snowy Escape, by the way, because this is like the only fireplace in the game that doesn't auto slot to like a wall. And since there's no walls, like, yeah, I could have placed it anyways, but listen, it's not what my brain wanted to do. So I probably, instead of using those, I would make use of Dine Out, because Dine Out has those like patio heaters, which are real, by the way. When I go to Royal Oak for stuff, I realize that some of their restaurants have them. They're real. And like, maybe this is obvious. Maybe those of you who go out to restaurants often and do patio dining in the chillier weather, maybe you knew this. I didn't. So fascinating times. I think that instead of using the fireplaces, I would use those heaters. And then on top of having like the seating areas, I think I would also want to put one of the chef stations from Dine Out so that it was kind of like a functional catering space, and then you could host a party there. I think if I was going to do anything like different for my own personal gameplay, that's probably more what I would have done. And as we see, I'm going even more ham with these pathways that, guess what, you're not going to be able to see if it's snowing. Anyways, I wanted to size up a Christmas tree to kind of be like that sort of New York vibe of having a Christmas tree that's like gigantuan. And then I also wanted to use those like pre-lit holiday trees that come with the free holiday pack, so we used a lot of those. And I do mean a lot. Like, if I was going to repurpose it for year round, other than just this time, like other than just the winter, I think I would replace all of those with birch trees. Um, but if I was replacing stuff for different seasons, I would probably, I don't know. There's a lot I would do different if I was making this for every season. Who knows? Maybe that's something that we can do, like as one of our builds in the beginning of the year, is like go through and renovate this. That could actually be a lot of fun. And then I wouldn't have to think of like a whole new build to do, because I am usually very low on spoons when it comes to the beginning of the year, because so much is happening during the holiday season and I love it. It's very exciting, but it's also very overwhelming. Um, Excitement is good, but when you have a nervous system that does not regulate very well, it just, even when you do have a nervous, I feel like we're all a little tired in January. You know what I mean? And I've kind of resolved that I'm going to make sure that I take January easy, right? I'm going to cut back on my film schedule. And I think that's just got to be an annual thing, right? Where we cut back a little bit, and that's what we're going to do, you know, so that I can rest and recover and feel better. And then we go into the new year nice and easy, slow and steady, and just, you know, have a good time. But we are coming up upon the end of the build. We're putting in some lights to, you know, light the path. The big thing is that I wanted to know how this would look in the evening, because when I imagine times that you go to this lot, I'm thinking like the evening time, right? Because that just feels like it makes the most sense, you know? Like it feels like, you know, the kids are done with school, you're done with work, you hit up the park to go and ice skate and have something warm to drink and maybe sit by the fire and just like have a nice time. That's the other thing. I would probably like to add a bonfire. There is a lot of empty space towards the back of this lot. So if you wanted to place this on a smaller lot, you absolutely could, and just like don't include that back bit. Like, I don't know. It would definitely be a bit of a pain to place. I would probably I would choose either the pavilion or the Christmas tree and then just like resize it from there. I don't know. I don't know. This is very much designed for a 64 by 64 lot. It's very much designed for city living. But you know, there's some sizable lots that you could put this on probably. I think that 64 by 64 lots are not base game. I don't think there's any base game 64 by 64. There's a couple base game 50 by 50s. I don't know. But we are coming up on the end of the build, and yeah, there's a lot of things I would change if this had literally any other purpose, but for the purpose that it serves, I like it. We've got the little telescope over there, which I wanted to use it because we got the big telescope over there because that's a part of the original lot, and that felt like something I wanted to include, you know, so that it still had that little function if you wanted to use the observatory for any reason. I don't know. I mean, it's nice. You can get like prints from it, I think, or something like that. I don't know. But that, for the most part, is the lot. We're putting down some more plants, and then it will be done. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below if there are builds that you hope to see in the future, or what you would do differently with this lot. Honestly, I'm open to it because I would love to renovate this, and taking advice from people it's so cluttered. I hate building parks. I'm not good at it. You can follow me in the links in the description box below, including over on the Sims 4 gallery. I'm awkwardfangirl6. You will be able to download this lot if you so wish. As well, and you can also follow me over on Twitch because we're doing Streammas, and it's gonna be a fun time. Share this with somebody if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.